What up? Clovis crit breakdown happening now. Super excited for this one. As always, please subscribe to show your support. Other than that, let's dive in. All right, here we go. 90-minute crit. This is the last crit of Clovis training series. A couple power number stats. Peak power was 1162. Did that during an attack. 22nd power was 720. Did that during my final stretch of lead out, 30-minute. Power was around 283, 5 minute was 338, normalized was 297. By far the fastest practice crit we've had to date at an average of 26.1 miles per hour or 31.7 kilometers per hour. Anyways, this is the first time we got to race together as a team. So we had literally, this was team camp weekend. Friday, most of us except for Miles and Greg, also from up north, we're not here Friday, but Friday we went out and did about a 2.5 hour team ride. We got a little frisky on one climb, and then Saturday was our big day. Miles made it out for that, but Greg was busy with some family stuff, so he couldn't make it down, unfortunately. But still, was myself, Nick, Tyler, Tim, and Miles. We went out on Saturday, and another local guy, George, joined us. He's been pretty cool with helping sponsor some different things on the team this year. But we went out and knocked out about 103 miles, 8,000 foot climbing day, the day prior to this race. So we're all coming in with heavy legs, but it was also really good because it was going to allow us as a team to see how each of us can handle fatigue and also how we can race even when we're not feeling the best or feeling the most fresh. So as a team, we came into this looking, we were excited. We're looking to really work on team tactics, really work on communication as a team too, something that's super important that really we haven't done, at least I haven't. I know Tyler and a couple other guys on the team really haven't done on teams past. Tim comes in with a wealth of knowledge from working with Legion down south and a couple other big, continental teams and whatnot down there. So he's got a lot of information on what we could do communication-wise. But to start the race, we kind of had it. We wanted to take it to a break. We had a lot of sprinters in the field. We had faith in Nick, but we just really wanted to bring it down to a breakaway. And we're like, hey, if we could get everyone in the breakaway, that would be sick. If not, we want to get a couple of people up the road. We want to lap the field, and then we want to practice our lead out. So that was kind of the goal for the day. So right off the bat, what we had was it was actually it was really shocking. A lot of the other teams, they came to play. So these first opening laps, they had a couple good little attacks flying and different gaps opening up and whatnot. Here, I'm just riding up to the front because we got one guy up there. I believe that's Tim from our team is up here. Everyone else, there's Alex the sprinter from Ascend in front of me, is Guy, huge engine on him. Mark Tucker's on the front. So right here, I do a little mini attack, not peaking crazy high, not all in. I'm just doing it because Mark was on the front. They opened the race up pretty fast, so I wanted to go and just kind of give a little nudge, see how people respond, see how my legs felt. So like I said, we did a huge ride the day before, so the legs were a little heavy, but other than that, feeling overall good. So that was just a little attack to see what would happen. And then Mark came right away and countered it, which is awesome, I think, for him. Tim goes with it. Immediately he saw Tim on his wheel and he shut it down. I don't know. I mean, that was a decent attack. I would have kept going, but he shut it down, which is totally fine. I can't remember who this is from the team Zwift, but he goes. Tyler's right there on his wheel, which allowed me to fill in and jump onto Tyler's wheel. I mean, look at this. We're still blazing fast for the first opening laps of this race. In the weeks past, the race has not been this dynamite from the gun. It's been, pretty chill. Everyone's getting the flow of the course and getting comfortable. And this week, it was just fireworks from the beginning. And this is cool. We catch him, and Tyler automatically drives the pace into that corner. Not really an attack, but just keeping it high, keeping the pace up, keeping it hot. I mean, it's what we want to do. So we're just making it fast the first couple laps, and the other teams initiate it, and then we're like, okay, let's keep it going. Let's keep the race going fast. And again, we're talking and we're communicating. I'm looking back and seeing if there's gaps opening up and whatnot, and if there is, I'm gonna tell Tim, hey, you need to tell Tyler, keep the pace going high. We'll keep going. Maybe we can get something going super quick and early. If not, no big deal. So see, I'm talking to Tim. He's looking back. He's listening to me. He's shouting ahead to Tyler. And this is pretty much how the race opens up. I mean, I was going to edit some of this down, but the first 8 minutes of this race was actually really exciting. And if there were spectators watching, I mean, I'm sure it was a fun race to watch too, because everyone was extremely animated. So we come out of this corner, and then right there we see Mark again. He goes with a little attack on the right, which I think is textbook. As you can see the flag up in the top right, this is full on crosswind right here. So if he would have kept riding the gutter, that would have been super smart. He started off his attack that way, which is fantastic. But then he moved over to the left and allowed me to sit over here on the right and kind of echelon over, and we all caught the draft. But we stayed with him. Now we're going into a major tailwind section here. But you know, he had a good little dig there to try and break something up. Tyler's up there, Tim's up there. Like, I'm not worried at all. I'm just gonna sit back here. I'm gonna ride wheels. I'm gonna watch for guys who are maybe coming by us really fast. That way I can yell up to the front so they know, you know, when to go. That's important stuff. Like, I could follow those moves too, but you know, if they're in position to go with them, plus it's fast on the front, people in the front are probably, you know, we're all strung out and they're tired. So why not shout at them and see if they have a little extra to go with it too. So that's kind of what we're doing. Tim put his hand up there. I don't know if you guys caught that. He threw it up super quick. That lets me know that, okay, Tim is feeling it. He needs a little breather. He needs a little break. So Tyler, he goes to the front, drives the pace a little bit. You know, that lets me know, okay, I need to start jumping in on some of the action. I need to start attacking a little bit. So right here is probably my biggest attack of the race. I went full gas on this one. This is where I hit my peak power of 1162. I just went all in on that one. This is a massive headwind section. So for people to stay in your wheel is relatively easy if you're going slow, but I was doing, you know, 700 watts into the wind. It's going to be a little bit harder to stick that wheel. There's still a draft, but not a ton of draft. They're going to be dropping watts too. Then we turn right here, and now we're into a major cross headwind section. So again, I'm just going to keep the pace high. I believe I could hear Tim behind me yelling commands to me on what to do. So I just kind of sat up at the front here, and then just took that really hard, and hopefully that kind of, you know, took a little firepower out of some of the legs, just trying to snap that rubber band. But this is brilliant. Tyler comes through. He starts to pull a little bit harder. I let it go. I'm like, that's not my job. I'm not chasing down my teammate. So I let Tyler go. He's got a guy with him. I can't recall his name. And I'm spacing out on the team too. Same team as Sean Bagley. But anyways, they take off. I'm like, hey, this is good. Nick's there. Mark's boxed in right now. He's not going to be able to attack across or anything. You know, we're full on tailwind, slight tail crosswind. So we're getting a nice little draft over on the right. Miles is now moved up there. Tim slaps his butt. Why? Because he's like, follow me. So I let Nick follow him. That's just kind of more little commands we have. Anyways, we jump forward. Tyler eventually gets brought back. But we jump forward here. And I just want to say Tyler raced an extremely good race. Because, a matter of fact, right now we're going to see Tyler sees that we're going slow. No one's motivated. So he counters. He goes and he attacks again after we brought him back. Mark's just looking, letting him go. Tim's in perfect position to follow anything that goes. I'm also right here at the front to follow anything else that comes that Tim can't carry or go with. I mean, it's just textbook teamwork. We were riding really smart, racing really smart. Again, I think Tyler probably raced one of the better races he's raced in a long time. Like, he was so attentive. He was quick to react, and he showed a lot of patience too later on in the race. So he raced really well. So mad kudos to Tyler. Super appreciated what he did today. Tim, like I said, he has a wealth of knowledge. The dude raced extremely smart. And I think just overall, having me as road captain, kind of watching everything, I was able to pick certain moves to go with and certain ones not, and let other guys handle it and go. So we were really operating on all cylinders, firing on all cylinders. And right here, Tim kind of put a little dig in, then pulled off. You know, Tyler's still up the road right now at this point. He's still up there. Mark is now going to be forced to go to the front. and drive the pace and try to get across that, which is awesome because Tim's going to be sitting right up here and he's going to be fresh and ready to jump on someone's wheel. So then we fast forward again, and here's Tim. I believe when we fast forward, we're about 13 minutes into the race. The first 30 minutes of this race was crazy. Like it was a fast race. Richard, lots of attacks, different things. So right there was Richard from Velo Kings. He's moving up to the front. He's going to go up there and just kind of do some work with Mark, help him out, because Mark's been on the front all day. He's been doing a lot of stuff. There's a little break up the road. I can't recall if Tyler was in it or not. Tyler probably was in it. Or actually, no, Miles from our team, I believe, was in that little break. Right here, I don't understand. Mark from Velo Kings, he goes and he pulls through to close that gap. He's got a teammate up the road already. And look, he's going hard. And I'm like, all right, well, that's a free pass for us to come to the front. So, you know, I pin it too, and I'm going to jump on Tim's wheel, and I know the pack behind me is going to be pretty strung out as well. So we're all going to be going real hard right here. But I was kind of surprised that Mark did that. I mean, I do get it. Miles is there, his teammate's there, Sean's there, Tyler's there. But as soon as we brought that back and he did that massive dig, that's when I have to counterattack. So I counterattack to keep it going. Come into this corner, a couple of lapped riders, but totally fine. It's a training crate, like this is what you do. But that was my time to counterattack. When I came to that corner, you know, I got to keep the pace high, keep it going hard. I ride the right side of the road, kind of towards the gutter, because that's where it's going to be a little harder to draft. So trying to stay on that side and then come back to the left to make this corner. I believe Tim is maybe on my wheel right now. I got like 2 guys on my wheel. I think Tim is one of them. Can't fully remember for sure. This is really where I need to buy a rear camera. That'd make this video so much better and way sicker. But down the road, just don't have the funds for that right now. Anyways, putting in a massive dig right here to try to get something going. Like I said, we really wanted to try to take it to a break and then lap the field so then we can work on our lead out for Nick. So just putting in a massive dig. I think Tim actually might have been behind me, you know, giving me encouragement, telling me to keep going. So just trying to take it as long and as far as I can before I let someone else come around and take over. I think, I don't know when I'm going to be done. Jeez, might as well just pull for one entire lap. But we realized that the rubber band was getting very close to snapping on the field. So at this point, you know, any attacks we do, we are now fully committing and trying to stick to them. Again, yeah, Tim was on my wheel because he's telling me gutter ball. So I was coming over here to the right, riding the gutter because it was kind of a head cross. It was more headwind than crosswind, but the wind was coming right to the left a little bit. So we ride that gutter, and you know, makes it a little bit harder for people to get the draft and stay on the wheels. You can't really echelon over. So yeah, there's Tim. Mark was with us. I believe that Sean Bagley is with us. I don't know if anyone else was with us. It might have just been us 4. But the other thing too was kind of weird. Anytime we'd get in a break, people weren't real motivated. So like I pulled really hard, Tim pulled really hard. And then when we both pulled off, Mark and Sean were like, nah. Which, you know, honestly, I don't blame them. It's not, I mean, there's 2 of us and just one of each of them. So, you know, we would definitely have to be the ones that do most of the work. But even just pulling through would have been kind of nice, but it's totally fine. We came back together. Miles went up the road, saw a little gap. Nick was motivated. Nick went to fill the gap. So now we got Miles and Nick up the road. Like, again, like I said, our team tactics on this were extremely good. Anytime someone got brought back, we countered. Anytime we could get 2 guys into the move, because that was kind of really what we wanted to do, we got 2 guys into the move. Like, without bringing the field across, we'd do that. And we just had this mindset of always racing up the road. Like, our goal was always be racing forward. So we were constantly racing forward, constantly going up the road, closing down other threatening gaps and whatnot. That was really just what we did extremely well as a team. And I think Tyler even said, like, that was the most fun he's had in a long time racing a bike. It was definitely one of the most fun races I've done in a while. Nick had an amazing day as well. Miles was a Superman during this race, and he had an extremely fun time. Like, it was awesome. But here goes Tim. He realizes, boom, it's his turn, as always. And there goes Tyler, right? We want two up the road. Tyler goes, Tim goes, like, perfect. They go together. They make all these other guys who've been trying to attack or bring everything back already have to burn more matches to bring it back. For me, I am in a perfect spot. So it is a free ride forward for me. Super simple. So here I come, just riding forward, and again, we're just racing forward. That's all we're doing. See, the draft is definitely left to right, so Tim's over there on the right. Like, that's what we want. I'm surprised more people didn't ride the gutter. We started to ride the gutter towards the end of the race on that, when we were trying to do lead out stuff and whatnot, because we just found it really beneficial for trying to make everyone else pulled back. But again, Tyler's on the front, and Tyler, amazing job. He just keeps digging, keeps driving. Like, we know that the field is tired. Like, you ever been in a race and you just feel like any minute now that rubber band's gonna snap and it's all done. Like, once it snaps, whoever's up the road, they're gone. And we could just sense that, because like I said, this was far faster than what the other practice crits had been. So right here, Tyler does that deep dig and they all try to follow. So then I do a little acceleration through the corner, do a little counter to that to just keep the pace high, keep it going hard, keep us strung out. And those guys who are all closing gaps, like, they got to keep chasing and closing me down, because Tyler and Tim are gonna be like, yo, this is a free ride to Chaz. So they're just gonna sit in, hang on. I mean, we've been doing that all race. It's just different people were doing it constantly rotating through. You know, one person racing up the road while the rest of us sat on everyone else's wheel and got a full pull, free pull up. Like, that's just what we're doing. And as a team, it was exciting to see that. You know, I don't think enough people realize, like, if you have the numbers team-wise and you have the firepower, just go at it. Just counterattack and counterattack and counterattack, and you will wear everyone else down. Just don't do it to where, you know, you wear yourself out. But all of us we came into this pretty fatigued, but we all also saw each other's fitness the day before, so we all felt really strong. Right here, this is Jeremiah Root, I believe, from Ascend. I would have ridden the right side of the road to try to blow some of us off the wheel because it was so fast, but we kind of slowed it down. So I just came to the front, took a little pull, and Tyler's here. As usual, Tyler's keeping the pace high. Mark's been at or around the front all race. Impressive. Even the Zwift kids, the Zwift junior kids, they rode this race really well, like really well. And they all raced the day before in Land Park. All had pretty good results, but they rode a pretty good race here as well. Tim, as usual, was up here. I do believe at this point we had a split in the field, so I think Miles was back behind us. Nick is with us, but eventually Miles will bridge across, and then what we had was the whole team up the front, off the front, like we wanted. We all made the big split of the field, the big break. So that's always super exciting and super fun. But here goes Tim. Tim throws a little dig off the front. I come to the front, and like I could totally go with that, but at the same time, it's like, nah, I want Mark to try to do some work. I want some of the Ascend guys in here to do work. See if maybe some of the juniors will do work. Like, there's 3 Ascend guys with us. I believe it's Joe Chacon, Alex, and Alex Kabatic, and we got that's Root, Jeremiah Root up there. Ascend is the light blue kits. Team Zwift is the Bianchi bike in front of me. Nick's here, Mark Tucker over on the right with the Velo Kings. Tim is up the road. I'm in the group. I'm 100% sure Tyler is here as well. It was overall. There's Tyler. Like, we got a great group. Nick's looking back. I think this is where actually Miles starts to bridge. Just like Nick looks back, he sees that there's a bridge effort coming. We have a good little break group here. But the one thing about this was no one really wanted to drive the pace. They really relied on us as a team to drive the pace, which I totally understand. We did have the numbers, but at the same time, if we're gonna get in a break like this, I mean, you know, just kind of pull through and just keep it smooth. We had a couple guys just sitting in. I mean, again, it's a practice crit. It's whatever. Not a super huge deal. But definitely the responsibilities was laid to us to pull everything through. So right here, Tyler does something really good. He understands that they're not motivated, so he comes through really quick to close the gap. Easy for me because I'm on Tyler's wheel, and I can almost guarantee that Nick was on my wheel. So super simple for us to use Tyler in that manner to just bring us across to the gap. Because what we have is we have Jeremiah Root and we have Mark Tucker who are trying to get up there to Tim. Tim just went through the corner, so Tim is still off the front. Dude's awesome. He was like, okay, wait, real quick. Mark moves over to the right. I got nervous that he might go, so I moved over to the right and closed down his wheel super quick just to make sure he didn't go. So if he did go, then I would have gone with him across to Tim. But Tim was awesome. He came into this going, hey, this is my week back onto the bike. This is my week to get fitness back. So I think like first day of teen camp, he was like, yep, getting fitness back day 4 or something like that. Like I think this was like day 6 in a row. Like he put in a massive week, about 18-hour week, just riding nonstop. But that's how you get fit again. I mean, you just got to get back on your bike, get this consistent and ride. So what I did here is once we caught Tim, I was going to kind of move up on the outside. Immediately Mark looked back and saw me and was like, we're going to cover you. And like here, Mark came over right now and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, not a big deal. So I kind of stop and, make it look like I'm done. But then when we got up to the corner right here, just hit the gas pedal again, accelerate through the corner, try to string the field out a little bit, the brake out a little bit, get them all strung out, just kind of push the pace some more, set it up for something cool on the backside maybe. If someone else wanted to counter, who knows what's going to happen. So I just set that up, pushed really hard, took a decent pull. Then I'm going to let other people come through. Although I think right here, Tim was also yelling at me gutter ball. So we were, we're pushing the pace. And if someone wants a free ride, we're going to ride the gutter. Because again, it was mostly headwind, but it was right to left movement. So just taking some of that draft away, especially if you go 4 or 5 guys back of doing this, that road gets, less and less. Tim comes around. Actually, it was a straight headwind. There was no left to right. No, there was left to right. Anyways, Tim comes around. He takes over. Again, as a team, we were just sitting at the front. We were executing really well, riding well. Everyone knew, we had to fill certain gaps, certain holes. We're still trying to drive the pace, just keep things going. I think the field was actually getting close to catching us again because, like I said, most of the pace work fell on us to drive the brake. So we eventually realized that, and we're like, okay, well, let's drive it. Let's lap the field. So we started to drive a little bit, make sure the pack didn't catch back on. But then at this point, we have all of us on the brake. We have myself, we have Tyler, we have Nick, we have Tim, and we have Miles. Miles is also in the brake with us, and that's super sick because right here, boom, here goes Miles. Miles takes off, and he goes, and I think it was Mark Tucker looked at me and he was like, oh, he's gone, like, and he kind of laughs, and I was like, no, dude, you have no idea, like, he's full on gone. Miles is a diesel engine. So at this point, Miles goes, and then I'm gonna cut it right here because we're about 30 minutes into the race, but I'm gonna cut it because Miles literally stays away for the entire 30 minutes of the remainder of the race. So fast forward to about the 55-minute mark. We're coming into the last final laps. We got our lead out train totally lined up. So Root was like, I was just trying to jump into your train and disrupt things. And Tim is a SoCal racer, and he's like, nah, protect this house. So he was constantly giving Root some bumps like, hey, this is my train. Let you know I'm here. Dude, this is my train. This is my train. Get out of here, this is my train. Like, you could tell they're getting a little feisty. They're looking at each other, elbowing each other, all kinds of different things. He's giving them a little love tap on the hip and whatnot. Like, this is my train, bro. Don't come over here. And then eventually he was like, okay, that's it. It just starts straight up leaning into him. And then at that point, I think Root got the message. He backed off. But then it sucked because then he started doing it to me. So then me and Root we're bumping elbows back and forth and little slight hip checks here and there and just trying to, I'm trying to just stay on the wheel of Tim because he's the guy I'm supposed to be on. And I got Root trying to come in. So it was all fun. Like it's also a practice crit. So it was fun to like practice that stuff in like a smaller setting and not like, 5 guys wide trying to bump and whatnot. But eventually Eventually he kind of calms down and moves back. So we got Tyler up here. Tim slapping his butt. He's telling me, hey, stay on my wheel. Watch me stay here. I got Nick on my wheel. Mark Tucker is pulling right there. He just pulls off the front. Again, Miles is off the front solo. So they were trying to pull him back. Now we're coming in with, we're about a lap and a half out from, or a half a lap out from 1 to go. So at this point, you know, we're setting it up and I'm like, okay, hey guys, we gotta start rotating. Let's start rotating pulls. Just keep it relatively quick, not quick enough to where we're gonna pull Miles back, but let's keep it quick so we don't have to worry about anyone trying to counterattack, or if they do counterattack, speed's already kind of high, so we'll catch back on really quick. So that's what we're doing. We're having Tim and Tyler just kind of rotate at the front, just kind of keep things high. You know, we're telling Tyler, hey, let's go to the right side, let's gutter on the right, because it's a major left to right crosswind right here. So we gutter on the right. So I have Nick on my wheel. Nick's gonna keep the draft for me, but then hopefully everyone else behind Nick is completely in the gutter, not getting a draft at all. That's what we're trying to do here as a team, and we did yell that out as we're going. So now we're coming over, and Tim again is going to yell at Tyler. He's like, hey, gutter it, dude, gutter it, take it all the way to the right. So this is two things. The one thing is we're blocking the draft from the left to right tailwind, and also we are not allowing attacks on the right. But right here, okay, Joe Chacon from Ascend Racing goes and takes Mark Tucker, and Terrence also goes, and we're going into 1 to go. So we're going into 1 lap to go. Miles is still off the front. This is the last ditch effort for them to try to either get across to him or maybe make something happen where they can get away and maybe win the race. Who knows what's going on? So Tim's job now is to close this down and sit on their wheels. So there's Tim, there's me, and there's Nick. So we're perfect lead out train right now. We're coming into the backside here pretty quick. Here we go, the last final straightaway of the day. As we come around that corner, Nick tells me, hey, we got to keep the pace high. I start yelling at Tim, you know, our commands of what to do. Tim hears me, and I just keep feeding him commands this whole straightaway to let him know that when we get to that final corner at the end there, I want you to get us there as fast as you can and drop me off there. I will take over for Nick. So Tim is literally emptying the tank. That's what he's doing right here. He's just gonna empty the tank into this headwind, take us into this corner. Super sketch. We were catching some lap traffic that I had no idea we were coming. So now it's my turn. Tim's done. I take over my lead out. I have Nick behind me just yelling at me, just motivating me to go. So I'm going as hard as I can. As you can see right up in the distance there, that black jersey, that is Miles. We are coming back onto Miles. Miles is solo off the front for the last like 20 miles, like 30 minutes. I come out of the corner. There goes Nick. Nick comes out of the corner, number 1 spot. They're sprinting, Miles sprinting. The juniors are still there from Zwift. And what happens is Nick ends up taking the win. I think the juniors came in 2-3 maybe. And then Miles held on for 4th. And I think Alex from Ascend got 5th. Or maybe one of the juniors got 5th and Alex got 4th or something. It was very confusing. There's no cameras or anything. But that was our lead out train. I thought we did a super good job. That's the race. It was seriously the most fun we've had in a long time, and the first time operating as a team. I thought we did really good. But hey guys, super hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, I really appreciate the support. Subscribe for more videos. Also check out these sick videos of the other Clovis crits. And hey, until next time, keep riding, keep training hard, and I'll see you on the next video.